Hey everyone, Maddie from DCLblogger.com. I'm going to be doing a market analysis kind of video. I haven't done this for a very long time. What I used to do was go through every Monday. So it's Monday here in Melbourne, Monday 8 a.m. Every Monday I'd go over the last 7 days of marketplace activity, all the buys and sells that have happened, marketplace conditions, cheapest parcels, average price, and all that kind of stuff. I stopped doing it for a while because I went to Turkey. I went to Turkey for the last 3 weeks. I've gotten back just 1 week ago, so it's been a month of inactivity. But I just thought, it's a nice, beautiful Monday here in Melbourne, and I had a bit of a feeling to do a market analysis. So here we are today. What I'm going to do is use this website, nonfungible.com. If you're a new investor, this is a key to unlock marketplace data in Decentraland. Okay, it's got a lot of other marketplace data. You can check out CryptoPunks, CryptoKitties, Axie Infinity, Ethereum, all that kind of stuff. But the dominant community that uses it is the Decentraland community. So one really cool thing is pretty much everything, but a lot of the statistics here are key. So what I like to do is go through just the last 7 days of activity. I'm going to be going through, I'm just going to keep going down this list till we hit 7 days worth. So this is 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I wonder if I can increase the number of listings here. Maybe not, so I'll have to go to page 2, maybe even up to page 5. Jeez, what I might do is just go through the last, okay, so page 4. All right, I can kind of do that. Maybe a lot of parcels to go through. I'll just go through some of them, but what I wanted you guys to understand, especially at the start, and myself as well, I'm talking to myself, but the marketplace is in a very volatile state at the moment. In fact, for the last, say, couple of months, some crazy things have been happening in Decentraland. Mana token price has stayed quite steady. That's a great thing. But there's been a lot of interest in Decentraland, and they've come in waves. Some days we'll experience a lot of land sale activity. Some days you'll notice minimal land sale activity. 10 to 20 parcels a day of land sold used to be the average. Now we're hitting sometimes 100 parcels sold, and $100,000 in revenue in a single day, which is huge. So it's important to understand that today we might be seeing the last 24 hours has seen 21 land parcels, but next day this could change drastically. And why I'm bringing this up is because this changes the valuations of lands, because right now the cheapest lands for sale are, what are the cheapest lands for sale? They're about 13,000 mana. Okay, that's the cheapest lands for sale. If I were to do this video, say 3 weeks ago, the cheapest land for sale would have been probably 15,000 mana. And that's because we were coming off a really big high where some new investors came in, bought up a lot of the bottom end parcels, and increase the prices to 15,000 mana. So it's important as new investors to kind of take your time, go through, just follow non-fungibles for say a week. Keep checking on this website. I literally refresh this website, I'd say once every half an hour. I'm on my phone, I give it a quick refresh, see if there's any new parcels sold. So if there's a new parcel sold, I can take a look where it is. So this one location is 59 minus 6, so just out of the minus 50 to 50 coordinates. It's somewhat close to a Genesis Plaza, somewhat close to a double road land, sold for 20,000 mana, which is quite a decent price for the seller. A lot of the parcels you can pick up close to Genesis Plaza and double roads, you should be able to find them for about 15 to 16,000 mana. So the seller has done a good job by selling it at that land. So the way I categorize parcels of land, the different categories, and I go through this in a lot of my videos, but I find myself repeating myself a lot, but I think it's a good thing because I'm pretty sure not everyone is going to watch every single one of my Decentraland videos. So if you do come across one or two, I hope to put in a lot of information there so you can find benefit in them. But how I see the Decentraland marketplace is I categorize lands in a few different categories, okay? And I'm going to talk in terms of or relative to all land parcels that are outside of these 4 quadrants. So one quadrant here, one quadrant here, one quadrant here, one quadrant here. These are minus 50, minus 50 to 50 kind of coordinates. So there's 100 units this way, or 100 parcels this way, and 100 parcels this way. So this is kind of like the city center, the center of Genesis Plaza. It's in the scale of things, it's actually a very small amount of parcels. So 100 times the 100 is what? 10,000 parcels. So 10,000 land parcels exist in this center area, but outside of this center is what I'm going to be talking about, because that's where the majority of lands are sold, and prices in this area are kind of a lot more than outside of this area. For example, lands connected to single roads in this minus 50 to 50 city center are about, I'd say the cheapest one you can get connected to a single road would be like 25,000 mana if you're lucky. Most of them go for about 25 to 50,000 mana. In fact, I've got a few for sale here. I think this one's mine. I'm not logged in, but I think this one is mine, one of these. And well, this one's definitely mine, and that's selling for 200,000 mana because it's connected to a double road. I'm happy to negotiate a little bit on that. But if you're connected to a single road only, then, you know, the closer you are to this center, the more you have to expect to pay. So a lot of these, like this area, I've seen parcels go for 75,000 to 100,000 mana, for example. I think this one sold recently. Was it that one? No, not that one. Was it this one? This one sold for 99,000 mana, so that's a freaking good price for that. But a lot of the other single road ones that are not connected to double roads in this area, like I said, between 25,000 mana to, I'd say, upwards to even 100,000 mana, like the ones really close to here. But I'd say in the center area, 40,000 mana, you should be expecting to pick them up for. But yeah, I'm going to talk relative to the categories outside of this city center. So I categorize things in a few different categories. One is parcels that are kind of in the middle of nowhere, and those are the ones that are really on the far outskirts, so the ones touching the borders, so the ones touching all the way on the left side here, touching the borders on the far south side over here. Why am I lagging so much? But yeah, like these parcels here, right, they're not really close to anything, to be honest, and a lot of these parcels are not very appealing. You can usually pick them up for about between 10 and 15,000 mana, depending on how cheap prices are going for. So as you can see, like this one's selling for 13,000 mana. The cheapest one is at the top, you know, right at the top edge of the marketplace. This one's right at the far south edge. So the ones that are kind of not that close to anything, so anything over here, any parcels in this area, even on the far east, you know, parcels, even if you get something here, at least it is on the far side of the map, but at least it's close to districts. So you can expect some form of activity. The ones over here, they're a bit too far. Even right at the top here, sometimes you'll find parcels for between 10 to 15,000 mana. Parcels, so that's the first category, the category where parcels are not very close to anything, and those you can pick up from 10 to 15,000 mana. Then you have parcels that are close to districts. So usually they are in a cluster of districts. So these districts come in different topics. You can see like this one's more of a cultural area. You've got Mother Russia land. I think you've got, what's this one? Little India. You've got that. I don't know how to pronounce it. You have Neo Tokyo, Icon Korea. What else is this? Christian area. You got a Muslim mosque. Really cool kind of cultural spot here is developing. So you'll find like different areas have districts that are kind of related to each other. Like this one's more of a techie type district where you've got Engineering Park, Tech Sector. What's this one? Hacker City. So it's a bit of a more tech oriented district. So parcels that are kind of in the midst of districts. So these ones here, how much is this selling for? 21,000, 36,000. Okay, that one's a bit too much. 160, that's a bit too much. 19,000, that one's not too bad. 250,000, what about these ones? 28. So the parcels that are in the midst of a cluster of districts, so this area here, this area here, maybe this area here, this area here, you can find them. Those parcels go for between, I'd say, 15 to 20,000 mana. Okay, so you have 10 to 15,000 mana on the parcels that are really far away. You have 15 to 20,000 mana for the ones that are, I'm talking like when I give price evaluations, I'm giving them based on good deals as a buyer. So these are the prices that I try and beat when I try and buy parcels. So although you may not find any listed at that price, when I say that you can find them for 15 to 20,000 mana, that doesn't mean that currently they're available for 15, 20,000 mana. Sometimes you might have to wait till some appear at that price. But those are the prices you should be aiming for in those areas, because in my opinion, that's what they're worth at current market conditions. This continues to change depending on new investors coming in and buying up a bunch of land. Maybe like 3 months from now, I'll be like, all right, well, a good price now in this area is 25 to 30,000 mana, just because land prices just continue to increase. It's really weird. I'm talking about land prices in a virtual area, which is represented by little pixels, but that's the reality of things. Again, like this cluster of districts over here, 15 to 20,000 mana, you should be expecting them for. Now, that's not necessarily true for all cases, because you've got this area here, which is kind of its own little spot, and it's in between a lot of really big districts. Okay, you've got Virtual Reality Shopping Center, you've got Fashion Street, you've got District X, you've got a lot of really interesting districts over here, and there's not many parcels over here. And parcels follow, like the rarer the parcel of land, the more expensive it is going to be. So this pocket of parcels here, I think there's like what, 5, 10, 15, 30, 50 times 15, what's that, like between 500 to 1,000 lands available over here. So compared to how many lands are available, say, like lands available that are close to districts outside of the pocket, there'd be thousands of those, right? But there's only about 500, maybe 700 or so lands that are available over here in between all of these districts. So the ones that are in this area, like you will be lucky to find them under 15,000 mana. Like a lot of these go for over 20,000 mana, even the ones that are not connected to any single road. So over 20,000 mana. If you are connected to a single road, any of these roads, then about 40,000 mana is what they're going for. So, it's not true for everything. And over time, you'll get your own idea of market prices. I'm just going to go through the basics. So there's that. And then I have parcels that are connected to single roads. So parcels that we still don't know how traffic is going to work in Decentraland. Can you fly? Can you teleport? There has been mentions that yes, you can be able to do those things, but when it actually comes to, we don't know how it's going to work. So land parcels that are connected to single roads outside of the 50-50 quadrant. So I'd say like these ones over here, or even the ones far south in this area, lands connected to single roads that this area here, this area here, you can find them. They usually sell for between 15 to 20,000 mana as well. Ones connected to the Decentraland Sun are a little bit more expensive. Lands connected to single roads that are close to Genesis Plaza, so the ones kind of like say this one over here, like maybe this one over here you probably get that for like maybe 20,000 mana plus a little bit, 20 to 25,000 mana. Like especially these ones over here. They're close to, it's only one spot away from Genesis Plaza, and yes, it is a single road, but it's also one spot away from Genesis Plaza. So this one's got two sides of it connected to a single road. There's variations in that as well, but generally speaking, you should be able to pick them up for between 17 to, I'd say, 25 to 30,000 mana, single road parcels away from the center. So and then you got double road parcels, etc., etc. But those are the general valuations. You got parcels that are connected to districts, and all of those have different valuations based on which district it is, and that's just like a different blog post altogether. So that's the first part of the video. But yeah, so if you go through this area and you look at what deals happened, which ones were good, which ones were bad, you can kind of see a trend of what's going on. So lands that were close connected to Genesis Plaza, you can see sold for 90,000, 110,000 mana, pretty expensive actually. And if I had done this video, I'd say a month ago, you could be able to pick these Genesis Plaza lands for about 50,000, 60,000 mana. But you know, it's been a while since then, and they're not that many left, so they're going for 90 to 110,000 mana. So whoever bought it back then could double their money in these market conditions. Here, 16,000 mana for lands that are not that close to Genesis Plaza, but at least, you know, those I mentioned, the ones that are in the cluster of, I'd say, districts at Genesis Plazas, or have some kind of a, not that far away from these Genesis Plazas or districts, they sell for between 15 to 20,000 mana. 15 to 25,000 mana, so that's at the lower end of that 15,000 mana, so that's a decent buy. Anything you can pick up for around 15,000 mana is a good buy. If you're also, one more thing, if you are a buyer, land investor, new one, this is a general rule I use. Basically, I don't pay anything more than, I'd say, 6 times the auction price is a good deal. That's the price I look for. As obviously that's ridiculously cheap. But if you're paying more than 10x the auction price, you can click on any of these parcels, and you can see how much they were picked up at the first Genesis City auction, which was the first. You know, they were bought up pretty cheap back then, but people had to bid against each other. So you'll find that the ones closer and closer to the districts, the one close, touching double roads, they were picked up for a little bit more. But it gives you an idea of what those areas are worth. So I try and pick up parcels for no more than 10x that price. But that's obviously a really good deal, and it's not always the case. For example, this one over here was picked up for 4,700 mana. Sometimes you can find parcels connected to Vegas City for 35,000 mana, 40,000 mana. But like if you're paying 20x the initial auction price, then you can kind of ask yourself, is that overpriced? Is that underpriced, etc. So this is 30,000 mana. 1,000 was paid for it, but it's part of a district. Like it's not part of a district. It's part of an estate. There's so many. If someone wants to buy all of these together, then it might be valuable. It might be that kind of valuation. But generally speaking, yeah, 10x. If you pay more than 10x of that price, there might be for single parcels. I'd say the ones that are on the cheaper end of things, most of them are more than 10x, between 10 and 15,000 mana. That's a different case. But if you're buying those that are connected to double roads, districts, etc., try to keep the number under 10x. I'd say, yeah, 10x and less is generally a good buy, but it's just a quick way of checking yourself. Anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, 16,000, 16,000, 15,000 mana. I think these were all bought up. These were all like next to each other, which was not a bad buy. Again, these lands were sold in a cluster of districts at the closer end of the 15,000 mana. A good buy. This is a decent buy, 14,250. One's connected to single roads. I mentioned that they sell for anywhere between 17 to 25,000 mana. These are all outside of the 50 to 50 quadrant. Okay. What else do we have here? So this one was connected to. Was this? I think this was connected to one of the Chinese districts of Dragon City, maybe Dragon Kingdom or Dragon City. 42,000 mana. Wow. Okay. Prices have definitely increased. Okay, so this one is minus 25.6. So this one is one that is in the quadrant. So minus 25.6. So somewhere over here. What's that? Minus 29.7. So minus 25.6. Is this one? Nope. This one. Maybe this one. This one. No. This one. Okay, over here. This one sold for 40,000 mana. 40,000 mana. So you can see, like I said, the ones closer in these districts, in these quadrants, it's a bit more expensive. Okay. So even though it's just a single road, it's more expensive because it's more closer to the center. It's like real life. The more closer to the center you go, the more traffic you're expected to get. This one was 18,500 mana. This is just out of the 50 to 50 quadrant, a little bit closer to the double road. So yeah, I can see why that's worth 18,500 mana. Let's try and look for good deals, guys. So deals that were like really, really good. Let's try and look for those. Let's see. These are all decent prices. Like there's nothing really good about these. These are all prices expected to be paid. 35,000 mana. I'd find that one's a really good buy actually. 35,000 mana to a parcel connected to Vegas City. In these market conditions, like that's a good deal. You should be able to sell that for 45,000 mana, just because there's not many parcels for sale connected to this area. How do I? Okay. There's not many parcels for connected connected to Vegas City, and Vegas City is expected to be a pretty big district. So if you do the count, there's really like 2 parcels for sale. What's this one? This one is for sale for 100,000 mana. This one is for sale for 79,000 mana. I think this one was the one that we were talking about that just got bought up. It is 35,000 mana. It was bought up for 2 days ago. So he's trying to sell it for 80,000 mana. He's bought it at a good price. I reckon he could probably sell it. If he wants to, he can probably sell it for about 45,000 mana. But yeah, I'll probably be doing the same thing he's doing. Listed up for 65,000 or 75,000 mana. Just because if someone's really interested in Vegas, there's not that many parcels to choose from. There's only 2. So again, scarcity is king. That's a good deal. I would say that is a good deal. Let's see what else you got, guys. Let's see what else you got. These ones sell for 15,000. That's a good deal. 11,000 mana for a parcel connected to a single road. Yep, good price. You should be able to sell that for about 16,000 mana. Okay, that's page 1, almost done. What else do we have, guys? What else do we have? So these are parcels that are in the quadrant. So minus 1841. So within the top left, northwest quadrant, the city center quadrant. And those are selling for under 15,000 mana. So even though they're not connected to any single roads, like this one was not connected to any single roads, under 15,000 mana for that is a pretty good price. It's at the very cheap end of parcels or the marketplace. 18,000 mana connected to a single road. Yep, good price. You should be able to sell it for about 30,000 mana. This one should be able to sell that for about 15,000 mana. Should be able to sell that for 15. Should be able to sell that for 15. At the very least, I'm saying, at the very least. You should be able to sell it, probably sell for 18,000 mana. This one is in the quadrant. You can probably sell that for 25,000, 30,000. Probably resell that one for 25,000 mana. Some of these deals are really good, actually. Like all of these ones. Again, it takes some time to spot good deals, guys. It takes some time. And mind you, I don't buy parcels from the marketplace. This is for just majority of investors. Like, I don't buy parcels from the marketplace. Rarely do I do that. I buy parcels from wheeling and dealing with people on private messaging. And I'll buy, if they're selling like 30 parcels, instead of them listing it all here, I'll just offer them a bulk price for all of them. They'll be happy to sell it to me. I'll buy it for way cheaper than marketplace. And I'll be listing it on the marketplace to make my profit. But for those that are buying it off the marketplace, this is a video for you. Let's see, 54,000 mana for one that's, only 6 units away from this this road here. Not that close to the center, actually. 54,000 mana is a good price for the seller. What else do we have? 12,000. Yep, good price. It's not really close to anything. 30,000 mana connected to DCL University. Not too bad. 24,000, nothing special there, nothing special, nothing, nope. Let's see, guys, let's see what we got. This one was my parcel. I sold this one. Sold that one too, sold this one, sold this one. These are all my parcels I sold for that price. Pretty good price, actually, because they're not connected to a double road and it's only 4 units away from this plaza. But believe it or not, guys, like, I'll tell you how cheap I get these, right? So these were part of a bulk deal. These 4 parcels that sold here that you see, these were part of a bulk deal. I bought like 32 parcels I bought for 12,500 mana each. For 400,000 mana, I bought those 32 parcels. This was just a few days ago and it was a ridiculous deal, guys. Like, well, when I made that deal, I just threw an offer out there. He took it. And man, some of these parcels were so good that, like, I don't mind selling it that cheap. Like 32,000 might be a good deal for someone else, but man, I profited like 20,000 mana off that. And I want to liquidate these, so I put them back on the marketplace for deals that are a decent deal for individual buyers. But for me, I want to just liquidate them because I want to get my profit real quick. I want to secure my profit. So all these parcels over here, I'll tell you which ones were mine, okay, as we keep going. Now, these were good deals. These were in the midst of these districts, selling for under 10k. Wow. Should be able to sell those for about 14, 15k mana. Let's keep going. This one is touching Fashion Street. 38,000 mana. 60,000 mana. Are you serious? That's a bit much. Let's see. Keep going. This one was touching that district. So yeah, 15,000 mana is pretty good for that. Let's keep going. So this one here sold for 125,000 mana. Okay, let's go. Ah, these are mine. these were mine. So this is, again, these were part of the deal, believe it or not. So these 4 over here were part of the deal that I did. I bought them for 12,500 mana each. Again, it was 400,000 divided by 32, which works out to be 12,500 mana. And guys, like, a lot of people are saying I'm selling this pretty cheap, but for me, I'm securing my profit, guys. Like 12 and a half, I might be able to sell this for 150,000 mana if I waited a bit more, but I cheapened it because I just wanted to sell it and just get my money so that I can reinvest in other land bulk deals. And 135,000 mana is like 10,000 US dollars just off that one sale. It's just ridiculous how much money I made off that one land deal. I still have about 10 or 15 parcels to clear from that deal, but once I do that, it's just like, guys, it's freaking ridiculous. I think it's like 60 to 100k like dollars flip for that land deal, and I bought that like a week ago. So yeah, it's ridiculous right now. But so this one is closer to Genesis Plus and not connected to any, the Center Genesis, not connected to anything, but because it's so close to Center Genesis, it's sold for 58,000 mana. This one was, yeah, again, same deal, but it's only one parcel away, 67,000 mana. This one was not too bad, 50,000 mana. We have 5 days now. Okay, maybe I'm not going to go through all of these, but you guys get the idea, right? This one was my parcel as well, but I listed it for 85,000 mana like an idiot. Like this one here. So I sold it for 85,000 mana, and then 2 days after the guy bought it, he listed it for 115,000 and he sold it. So he made like 30,000 off that. And I'm like, that was the first one I listed from my deal, and I really wanted to liquidate really fast. And I noticed it got grabbed up real quick. And then I re-questioned myself and I was like, dude, I'm selling this too cheap. But it's okay. 30,000 mana, whatever. Okay, so keep going. Let's see what are good deals. Let's just spot the good deals. It's going to take too long. Good deals. Where are you? Good deals. Where are you? Oh, these are all my parcels too that I sold. I bought these for, I think, 18,000 mana each. They're part of an estate, so 15 connecting parcels. I bought them for 18,000 mana each. I'm going to be doing a case study on these, by the way, just showing you guys how I bought these in a private deal and resold them for this price. It was a really good deal. I think I profited like 240,000 mana off that deal alone. Give me some good deals, man. Give me some good. This is why I don't like buying off the marketplace. Rarely is there a good deal. Like great deal. Like it's not so much a good deal, it's a great deal. I look for great deals, right? As you can see, like I like buying ridiculously cheap and selling still pretty cheap, but getting a lot of margin in between. These were pretty good. So there was a cluster of lands that were connected as an estate that were close to a Genesis Plaza and a district. So I guess how many of those did he buy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, 11 parcels. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Once the estate features comes out, you should be able to sell that for a decent price. What else? So a lot of higher value parcels were sold back then. Nothing that great here. That's it, guys. 7 days finished. So all the lands that were bought at a decent price. And as a new investor, look for follow non-fungibles for a while, because they go through, they track every single land deal that happens on the marketplace. So not the ones that happen off the marketplace, the ones that I make and other, marketplace flippers, but people that buy and sell off the marketplace. This thing tracks everything, so you'll be able to see and keep up with different valuations and how they evolve over time. Like this one is a freaking good deal. Whoa, 10,000 mana to a land, to one connected to a district. That's a good deal. Should be able to flip that for about 20,000 mana. I just love doing this, like buying and selling this type of value assets. Some of these are $10,000 to $15,000. Just a click of a few buttons, you can have that kind of value in your wallet. And it's just ridiculous at the opportunities that are available right now, particularly with Decentraland, because there's so many like non-fungible token companies out there. So there's so many crypto collectibles out there, but not many with this kind of price valuations on a consistent basis. So the cheapest land you can buy is like, I don't know what, $800 US. And if you flip, like even small flips give you a couple $100 US in your pocket. So I like making, like even small flips, I'll make like 2,000 mana profit, just quick ones, so I can, cover lunch for like a week. But yeah, I do this full time, guys. Like I'm a full time Decentraland market land flipper. Just the weirdest title ever. I just tell people I have a marketing business. It's just so much more easier. But yeah, guys, I hope this video is helpful, because I just wanted to go through land valuations, all that kind of stuff. And new investors, check it out. Follow the marketplace. There is no substitute for hard work and patience. So don't just expect to jump in and know everything and buy your best and start wheeling and dealing straight away. It might be your strategy. Sometimes it works well if you jump in and you just want to learn from making mistakes. In fact, that is my kind of style. But for the most people, because you're dealing with high value assets and liquidity isn't there, like if you buy something that's overvalued and you want to sell it for the price that you bought it, you might list it, but it might not sell. It's not as easy to sell these parcels as it is to sell your cryptocurrency tokens on the market, on exchanges. Like you just list a price that you want it to sell for. Within minutes, probably someone will come and buy it. But here, people have to be awake. People have to see that parcel. They have to be interested in it. And sometimes that may not happen for a week or so, especially for the price that you want. So be patient. Follow this for a little while. There's always going to be opportunity, guys. There's always opportunity so far in Decentraland. I've been doing this for 8 months. 8 months consistently. Like every month, I'll make quite a lot of land deals. But again, I do it privately. Marketplace is something else, but like you see, there is opportunity to start with the marketplace. So much really good deals happening on the marketplace, and you might be able to make some really good flips. And I have made some really good flips using the marketplace, and I'm talking like 50,000 mana flips or 100,000 mana flips on the marketplace itself. So opportunity is there. You got to be fast on your fingers though, because a lot of other people, as soon as the land is listed, they'll be jumping on it. So good luck. Hope this helped. And yeah, follow my Twitter, DCL Blogger. On Twitter, that's where the gold is. I keep posting this kind of stuff, little snippets of this, and on my land deals, my quick flips and strategies, etc. So follow me on Twitter. It's imperative. DCL Blogger is my Twitter handle. See you guys.